Thank you for calling Call-In Studios host and call screener. Enter your 6-digit PIN number. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-In Studio web interface.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Youngstown's Talk Channel. It's Luke, Isaac, and Joe in the studio downtown. Luke and I are the MLO bros. Joe is representing Youngstown Studio. Joe is having another grumpy day. He's got 4 projects he's working on, and he does not have time for us. So
the best part was this. So like before we went live, like Joe's like, I'm like, Joe, like where he's getting ready, he's getting all set up, and I'm like, Joe, what is wrong with you today? And he's like, I got 4 projects going on. It literally, Isaac and I at the exact same time were like, if we had 4 projects to do, we'd like line it up onto like a thing and be like, no, we're not doing any of that.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to go for a walk in the park or maybe play some video games. I'm like, Joe, if I had 4 projects going at the same time, they would all end up bad.
Do you just try to make me feel uneasy every day of your
No, Joe, I'm sure you're going to crush it. I am complimenting you by saying I wouldn't be able to do what you're doing, and I suck at multitasking.
I'm already distracted.
Like, I need you to help me, like, direct me and do this podcast. BJ just walked in. I just want to talk to BJ now. I don't want to do this podcast. I just want to chat with BJ. Like, that's how I'm just like a dog. Like, just
like how do you do 4 projects?
You compartmentalize.
Are they big projects?
Yeah.
Joe,
Can you delegate to anyone? That's
Yeah.
what I
okay,
no,
guys, 2 questions. What's delegate mean? What's compartmentalize mean?
I don't know that one. I don't know compartmentalize, but delegate I'm very familiar with because they do that all the time.
Yes, delegate.
Logically minded people sort everything. You put them in a little box, a little
Okay.
compartment for each individual thing.
And like, okay, so do you use a calendar?
Oh,
Do you mark out your day? Like, do you
every minute.
do you
of
do it to
day.
the time? Like
Oh, yeah.
time? Like I'm going to do this from this time to this
Yes,
time.
task lists and spreadsheets
Nice.
and
Dude, I wouldn't be
calendars.
able to function like that. Do
Yeah.
you do anything like that?
So once I get super busy, I start to use my calendar on my phone. Like, hey, remind me
I have to do that.
before this happens, and like a daily thing. But if I didn't set alarms, I would totally forget about shit, and I still forget about stuff.
Well, the problem with me is if I don't use my calendar, there's going to be a kid left at a practice or a school somewhere.
Right.
Like it's not
Yeah.
just me.
You guys are good at using the tools.
Yeah, I have to because, like I said, there's going to
just
be a kid.
magnify that up, amplify it up, and
No,
you'll
thank you.
no.
I don't
Yeah.
like doing anything. I like.
But let's talk. Let's talk,
Yes.
shall we?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you for being here. We are the eventual replacement of Youngstown Radio. We know Youngstown Radio is dying. We are trying to be your replacement. You turn us on when you get to work at 8 a.m. You can turn us off at 5 p.m. when you leave. We are going to grow into Youngstown's new talk channel, right? So call in. We want to hear from you. You make the show great. 330-595-1600. Call in and chat with us about our topics.
I forgot to annoy our group speaking about tasks.
Luke's annoying our groups right now to get more people in here. Dan says, good morning, brothers. Good morning, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
We have some topics for you today. We're going to talk about my little video I made on the MLO Bros about advertising in the groups, the everything groups. We're going to talk about the fight at Mooney and the news not covering it at all, which is really strange.
Someone explain that to me.
How did they not cover it? Maybe we'll talk. Let's talk about it. Let's game plan. Let's talk about the fight at Mooney and how there was haymakers being thrown and how we got in trouble for sharing it. Facebook deplatformed us.
Verbiage. I think it was my verbiage.
You can't say haymakers.
I said prom. What did I say? I said prom dancing and haymakers, like a top line.
They removed us and then
demonetized
us.
We can't make money on our
Damn
podcast
it.
anymore.
We were making some serious dollars.
Yeah, we got demonetized, Joe. We can't make money anymore.
Why would you do?
We posted the Mooney fight.
Yeah.
And
It
Luke
was
said
violent.
prom dresses and haymakers, and they said and the thing is with Facebook, it's so annoying. You can't challenge it, but you can't get anybody on the phone. And then they came from my personal account too.
Yeah, my personal account got dinged too.
Because they said, and I had some stuff I said last year all towards Luke. Like I think
You
I said
you said you're going to run me over with a car.
I said I was going to run you over with a full-size SUV. And it's like my question is like, hey, listen, Facebook, it's my brother. You should let me say whatever I want to my brother.
Bullying. You're bullying.
So then after that, then this thing comes up. They ding my account. They don't let me invite people to follow my page for a year.
You're grounded for a year.
For a
Your
year.
personal year, not
My
the MLO.
personal, not the
Yeah.
MLO. Till May of 2026. I'm not allowed to invite anybody to like my page.
Wow, you're a sinner.
But I didn't even. You made the post. I didn't have anything to do with it.
You and I are connected forever.
God, that sucks.
Yep.
Robert J. Santos.
We're going to talk about
Good morning.
Santos too. We're going to talk about
What he
Austin
do
Town.
now?
Okay, so
We're talking about
let's talk about this now.
Okay, let's talk about Austin Town. While Santos, you can call in 330-595-1600.
They got rid of the police dogs.
Those bastards.
There were 2 of them.
Yeah.
And they said there's not enough money because the police levy failed.
Oh.
So the police dogs had to get retired.
So do they like take to the police officers that the canine units like take them home or?
Yeah, I think they sold it for $1.
Oh, look, that's cool.
But
Police
like
face.
people on Facebook are saying it's just a plea to get another police levy passed. It's like you go after somebody's dog. It's like, oh my God.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying?
That's an interesting argument.
Right?
So say, hey, we're putting the dogs down unless you pass the levy.
Well, they gave
Basically.
him a month to either come up with. I mean, Santos, call in so you can talk about this. I just kind of popped the other day.
Robert Santos, call in 330-595-1600. He says, "Let me pull over." Are you texting and driving right now? What kind of Austin Township trustee texts and drives, watches Facebook videos and drives? Maybe he's listening.
Okay, so Santos is a Austin Township trustee. He's going to call in here and we'll talk to him about it.
I would argue that the best part about police is the police dogs.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's the best part.
Dude, Pogo in Poland, and they got another one.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Best
But
part.
I know they cost a lot of money.
I'm sure the training's
The
ridiculous.
training is ridiculous.
But
maybe a show on fashion and how sleeves don't work in Youngstown. I'm in, dude. Sun's out, guns out, brother. Sun's out, guns out, Carter.
well, you can't take yourself too seriously. Sleeves. Look at Joe. Joe, get over here. Come here real quick. Show the people what you're wearing right now.
Is that a cardigan? Is that what you call a cardigan?
No, I don't think that's a. It's a sweater.
Sweater?
It's a V sweater. We'll talk about Joe's fashion and then compare it to mine. Joe rocking the striped. What brand is that? Is that Nautica? Nautica sweater, very nice with the jeans, very professional. And then you have me and Luke.
Urinate. That's a nice shirt. That's an expensive shirt that you cut the sleeves off of. That was like $30.
This is a Youngstown clothing company shirt.
You cut the sleeves off
that I got from Matt.
Wow.
And I cut the sleeves off because I was wearing it to the gym too much.
And mine is a look, you like my Captain Connect Club. I support Canada. All right.
Looking good, Joe.
Hello?
Rob.
Yes.
Mr. Santos,
how are you?
Town trustee, we'd like to say you're not talking on behalf of the trustees, correct?
You were talking on behalf of your personal beliefs.
Correct.
What's up? Why'd you guys put the dogs
Why
down?
did you get rid of the dogs, Mr. Santos?
So they're not gone yet. We did put an effective date July 6th. So obviously our police levy failed, which was a huge hit for all of us. All of us, I could say, we're all a huge supporter of our police department. And the last thing we want to do is reduce any service in our police force. However, the residents of Austin spoke. We told them what was going to happen, what cuts were going to be made, and what other cuts may be coming down the pipeline to live within the budget the Austin residents gave us. So here we are with the budget, and we're doing everything we can to live within that budget. So that way we are not sacrificing any service for the residents. Now, yes, we are reducing services. We have to because we can't spend money that we don't have. So the chief of police did her research. She came to us, came up with some data, and she determined that as of right now, it would probably be the best use of savings is to retire these dogs because I'm not saying they weren't utilized. I love the canine unit. I actually, when I was in the Marine Corps, I was started to be a canine officer, but then I realized I was allergic to dogs. So that didn't work out too well. So it's just a savings that we have to make. It was definitely supported by the chief of police. We all know that she is a phenomenal individual. She was actually appointed as the chief of police, very much backed by the entire department, the police department, and all individuals within the township. So we, as non-police officers, have to take her suggestions and her thoughts and her opinions to heart. So this was one cut that we had to make. Now, this is one of the hardest things that we have to do as elected officials is to make these hard decisions. And we know that this definitely pissed off a lot of people. It was extremely hard for me. But what I am confident in is, I don't want to get too confident, but I am confident that we probably could save it by getting some assistance elsewhere. I think we only have Chief of Police Valerie Belmont. She said that the remainder that we would need for this year would be approximately $10,000. I'm sure we can get $10,000 by July 6th. People doubt me all the time, and I prove them wrong. I think we can. This is my thought. Get $10,000, and we can extend that July 6th date to January 1st, and then from then till January 1st, we can come up with the other $25,000 to help offset these costs for 2026.
So how
much
is it again?
Sorry, go ahead.
How much is it they need to raise?
For this year, by retiring them on July 6th, that would save us for the remainder of the year approximately $10,000.
So save
and then $20,000 for 2026.
Robert, I have a question. Hold on.
Yeah.
I have a question. So, just so I get this timeline down, is there today, if we're voting today, is there something on the ballot for money for the police, a levy, or no?
Not the police, no. There is a general fund renewal.
If the general fund renewal passes, will the dogs stay?
No.
Okay, I'm just wondering. When did you guys make that announcement that the dogs are gone?
So it was April 14th, meaning when I was in D.C., It was actually brought up, but it wasn't moved for a motion until yesterday.
Okay,
It wasn't voted on until yesterday. So it was discussed April 14th. Everyone knew this was coming down the pipeline. All parties that were going to be affected were informed April 14th that this was coming down the pipeline for this meeting.
Yeah.
So they did have about from April 14th to the 5th. That's what, 20 days?
Yeah. Okay. Don,
Yeah.
There's a question from one of our commenters here. How Donnie
Okay.
says, how about taking pay cuts instead of always cutting the safety services, sir?
So the pay rate is set on by the contract that we have with the unions. We can't just tell the unions, hey, we're cutting everyone's pay. Then they would grieve us, they would win,
Yeah.
and we would owe that money back.
Nice. Okay.
I know it sucks. I know it's hard. I know you don't want to hear that, but that's the answer. I don't collect any medical insurance from the township.
Okay.
And that saves the township about $30,000 a year.
Lisa-
Shepard as well. He hasn't collected. That saves us about 30. But I'm confident if I can just say this one thing. So Mirza, he's a former officer at Struthers. He created a self-sufficient canine department there. And he's confident. He says he can do the same thing here. So me knowing that, I'm hoping, I'm really, really fighting for this, that we can get the $10,000 for this year. And then that will give us time to get the $20,000 for 2026. And then in turn would give us, Mirza, and anyone else who's willing to assist to help Mirza create that self-sustaining program for our canine dogs. So that way, one, it doesn't come out of taxpayers. Two, we have the dogs that are here that are utilized appropriately. I mean, obviously the chief did say we can do without, and I respect her opinion, and I back her opinion, and I back her suggestion. Let's make that very clear. But if we can get this self-sufficiently funded, excuse my language, I'm stuttering now,
You're fine.
is if we can get this taken care of with his process that he did in Struthers, if we can get it here, I'm all for it. Sign me up. Where do I need to go? I told him to give me a call today. I'm waiting for the phone call. I was up all night yesterday, probably till about 1 o'clock in the morning. I think I slept 2 hours. I've been up since 3. You can look at my Life 360. You can see me move around my house at 3 in the morning. I am on the computer. We are doing our very best. I got a couple phone calls in from some very high
on the computer.
dollar donors.
All I can say,
What's that?
oorah, Marin, oorah.
What?
Nothing.
I didn't hear what. You not hear me?
No, we can hear you. We can hear you fine. You're
Listen,
you're coming super
It's
clear.
probably good you didn't hear Isaac.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, play on. It's okay. Listen, it sucks. It's hard. We didn't want to do it, but we have to make the cuts. We have to live within our budget. So if it's not the dogs, what do we do? Are we going to lay off a police employee? Now, there was some comments yesterday on Facebook. Someone said, well, reduce the road personnel and give the money to the police department. I want to make it clear. We can't give road funds to the police. We can't give police funds to the park. We can't. Everyone can utilize the general fund, but nobody can touch each other's funds.
Please.
Now, the general fund is not meant
I didn't know
to
that.
fund other departments. It's meant to help offset any unexpected expenditures, because there's other departments that have to be funded out of our general fund, and our general fund does not have much money. So it's responsible for our administrative office, which is even our fiscal office, which pays everyone. That's how they get their paycheck. It pays for our staff. It pays for our maintenance. It pays for zoning, who gets rid of blight. Just to tear down a house is around $10,000 to $15,000.
Right.
Yeah.
That's been extremely been. And so, listen, I'll be happy to show all these numbers to anybody. It's really difficult just to sit here and talk. Otherwise, unless you had 24 hours, I'd be more than happy to go over it.
Yeah.
But in such a short time, because of how much detail is involved, really can't. I can talk about numbers, but
How do
it's
they,
more
how do
of
they
a
reach you,
generalization.
Santos? How do they reach
What's
you?
that?
How do they reach you? How can they reach out to you?
My phone number, 330-531-1007. I let
Say that again
anyone
one more time.
at any time. What's that? Oh, 330
531.
531-1007. Now, I let any resident, if they want to come hang out with me all day and see what I do, go right ahead. If I'm in home,
can I come hang out with
working
you
on
all
my
day,
garage
even though I'm
and
not an Austin Town resident?
What's that?
Can I come hang out with you all day, even though I'm not an Austin Town resident?
I don't care. That's fine. Just don't drink my chocolate milk.
Seriously.
You know what I'm talking about, Isaac. You know what I'm talking about.
What if you have chocolate milk in the fridge and it's just sitting there? I can't have some?
Well, I don't know who just comes over to someone's house for the first time ever and opens his.
I was thirsty, and you said I could have whatever I wanted, so I took a sip of the chocolate milk.
Santa's before.
So listen, the backtrack. I let anyone ride around with me if they want to. I let anyone stop by my house if they want to. I don't care. If they want to come here, they can. If they want to hang out with me, they want to call me. I don't care what time it is. I'll be happy. Now, obviously, summer is coming. The only time I won't let anyone hang out with me is when I have my 9-year-old son. Just for safety reasons, I'll do it myself.
Fair.
But I won't have someone in my van driving around seeing me do what I'm doing for the township if I have my 9-year-old son with me. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. But any other time, I'll be happy. During the school year, absolutely.
Right.
My wife does have days off during the week. If, like today, for example, if there was no school, I would be happy. I'll do my passenger seat. I'll buy you coffee. We can go over these numbers. I can show them the budget. 100% we'll show every single line. Any questions they have, if I can't answer it, we'll get the answer for them. Full transparency. The only thing we can't discuss is like personnel issues, any legal matters, things that could get township sued. But other than that,
nice.
I think I'm an open book.
Well, that is Austin Town Township Trustee Robert Santos. Thank you, sir, so much for calling in. We appreciate you.
All right, Robert, before you go, why don't you do one of your little podcast things that you always do and talk about, like, show the budget and stuff? Those are always good. Like, you're one of the only guys that I ever see do it as an elected official, like go live and talk about stuff.
You get in trouble? You get flack from the government when you do that stuff?
Screw them.
Attaboy.
Love that boy. That's my man right there.
Attaboy. So, all right, well, Santos, we appreciate it. And here, and we're going to talk. You kind of got into it a little bit too, or you made a post about our guests on Friday, and I kind of saw some of the responses. So we're going to talk about that.
Please invite me. Oh God. Okay.
So
have fun with that one.
See you, dude.
All right, buddy.
Bye.
By the way, in case you're wondering about the chocolate milk incident.
Yes. This is a great time to plug our real estate and mortgage services. Luke and I, as you know, the MLO Bros stands for Mortgage Loan Originator Brothers. Robert Santos, we helped him sell his house. And when we helped him sell his house, we had our meeting, our official listing meeting. So we went into his house. I think he was the first person that took a chance with us to sell his house.
And you go in and open
his refrigerator. We go in. We're like, hey, breaking down the numbers. And he's like, yeah, help yourself to anything. So I'm like, okay, I'll help myself to anything. So I check the fridge. There's chocolate milk in the fridge. And he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, helping myself to chocolate milk. So I took the chocolate milk out. I went in his cupboard. I got a glass, poured myself some chocolate milk. This is my first listing appointment as a real estate agent. I sat down, drank some chocolate milk. And his wife walked in and she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, drinking some chocolate milk. Robert said I could have some. And she just starts laughing and then walks out of the room.
He said that to be polite.
Yeah,
it's not something you take literally.
It's like, hey, make yourself comfortable. And it's okay. You say.
Yeah, like you don't put on the bathrobe.
Maybe don't offer it if you don't want me to touch the chocolate milk.
All right.
It's Fairlife chocolate milk.
Yeah,
it
with these
delicious.
guys, do not say polite things like that because they will do it.
And listen, we sold his house in 3 days with our platform. So if you want to sell your house, you call us. We'll take care of it. I can't promise I won't drink your chocolate milk.
Oh, so
maybe
funny.
Just say, hey, don't touch the chocolate milk. It's
Isaac,
mine.
stay as long as you like. November, you're still here.
Go ahead. All right, caller, what's up?
Yeah, I'm calling in about issue 2 since we're voting today on it. So it's a statewide issue about the roads, and it's $2.5 billion, and it'll take 30 years to pay it off. Well, interestingly enough, Ohio is sitting on a rainy day fund of $3.5 billion. And then in addition to that, as soon as the marijuana excise tax, which I think you guys know is up to 15%, so as soon as that all kicks in and the markets mature, Ohio's going to be collecting around $450 million a year. They expect it to be mature by the end of 2026 or 2027. And remember, the state came in and they stole the money from like Austin Town Marijuana Dispensary and all the local dispensaries. They want that money, the state. So they're confiscating their marijuana excise tax, which I think is terrible. So these are two really good reasons. Ohio has a ton of money. There's no reason to put us in debt for 30 years.
17.
So the polls close tonight at 7:30.
17. May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Just so people understand, where are you? So you go by an anonymous name, which is totally fine. You can call in and do that if you want to. Are you like registered as a Republican, Democrat? Which side of the aisle are you on? If you don't mind.
Yes, I am registered as a Republican.
Registered as a Republican. Do you affiliate yourself with like groups like
constitutional?
I don't know much about issue 2, but like, are you a part of like the Mahoning County Republicans or whatever, and you're just trying to spread the word, or just so people know where you're calling from, kind of get an idea of where your allegiances lie, I guess?
Right. So my allegiance is to President Trump.
Okay.
And I see him leading an American revolution, right? And so I think we have to do our part. So we have to do our own looking at the finances. I mean, we may not be Elon Musk. We can't get on the inside.
Right.
But it's pretty obvious. The information is public. It's all out there. Anybody can look it up. We do have a rainy day fund that is $3.5 billion.
Yeah.
So that's our money that they're sitting on.
Yeah. I'm going to test you. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Trump says, I want to run a third term. Let's just hypothetical world. He says, I want to run a third term. Is that okay with you?
He's already run a third term. That's why his hat says 45-47.
Okay. But he wants to go another round.
He was commander-in-chief the whole time Biden was in office, which actually means that Biden was never given the nuclear codes.
Yeah.
They were given over to the generals.
Okay, but this is something I'm right down the middle. This is something where I'm like, yeah, that's not cool, but just so you know but if let's say he wants to do that, his term comes up, he's done his 4 years, and he's like, no, I'm going to run again as a Republican.
Okay, so two things. So he's already been saying in the public it's probably not going to happen because it's too hard to make that happen. And the only other president who was in his 4th term, I believe, was FDR, and he died in his 4th term.
But if he decides I'm going to try and do it, is that okay? Do you think that's okay? As somebody who
no, they would have to change the Constitution.
Do you think that's okay? If Trump's like, yeah, we're changing the Constitution. Do you think that's right?
No, Trump can't just change the Constitution.
Okay.
I mean, he can't do that himself. This probably is not going to happen. But I'm just going to tell you that under continuity of government, when Biden, quote unquote, won the election, the generals knew he really didn't win legitimately. So they took power.
Yeah.
And that was stated before George Stephanopoulos.
Yeah.
And the general said there was a smooth transition of power to the military. So the military was in control, which means their commander-in-chief was President Trump, not President Biden.
I don't know.
That was their commander-in-chief.
All I'm saying is 17. At some point, like, I'm right down the middle. At some point, I just want you to, whatever going too far is in your mind with someone, whatever politician that is, at some point you got to say that's a little bit too far. How far does Trump have to go before you, as a Republican, are like, maybe everything that he does isn't perfect? So, like, I think that third term, if he tries to do that, I'm out. I'm like, that's not cool.
Honestly, he can't do it himself, number one. And number two, I think he's just trolling the Democrats.
But just the concept of wanting to do that is wrong.
I don't think he's going to do that.
Well, he was already commander-in-chief during Biden. So the military reported to him, and they took all of their direction from him.
From Trump. You think
because part of
Biden's term, they took military direction from Trump?
Yes, they did. Otherwise, this country would have been invaded by some other country. I mean, they could have attacked us.
I don't think we'd ever be invaded by some other country, to tell you the truth. I don't think.
Well, look how weak we were under Biden.
We'll never get invaded.
Well, the invaders are here, and Trump's trying to kick them out. So let's hope nothing bad happens. I worry about that every day. There's a lot of terror cells that can activate in this country.
Well, I appreciate the call, 17. Thank you so much for informing us about
that issue. Right now, issue 2. Okay, bye.
Thanks, bye.
I was just looking at that issue too. So I wish I would have asked her while she was on here. Issue 2 seeks to renew and expand the state capital improvement program, originally established in 1987 and renewed by voters approximately every year for a decade. If approved, it would allow the state to issue up to $250 million per year in the general obligation bonds over the next decade, decade to fund infrastructure projects such as road and bridge repairs, sewer and water system upgrades, and other essentials. This program is bond funded, meaning it will not result in any increase in property taxes. Do you know what bond funded means?
Means they sell the debt to the public and then pay those bonds back.
Right, like investors,
Yeah.
right? So then I asked, Joe was right. Bond funded means the government raises money for a project by borrowing it through bonds rather than collecting it directly.
Does that inflate the dollar?
If it was a lot, yeah, that's what treasury bills do.
Right.
They are able to
So the state sells bonds to investors like banks and public. Okay, like bonds. Investors give the state the money now, which the state uses to fund the project. The state pays back the investors over time with interest, usually from its general revenue, not by raising taxes unless specified. So when something is bond funded, it means you get the money up front, you pay it back slowly over time. It doesn't immediately increase your taxes.
It still has to be paid by tax
because you're paying for the interest on them.
Yeah.
Right. So eventually they just want the money now to pay back later.
Indirectly funded by taxes.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not getting it for like the way that works. Okay.
Carter says Trump says that only because he knows it makes the Dems crazy with the third term thing. That's fine, Carter. But if everybody says, no, let's do it. Everybody in America's like, let's do it. Let's let Trump go a third term. You think he'd still do it? I guarantee Trump would still do
They
it.
figured out a way to. I don't think they're going to.
But they won't figure out a way. Carter, he says stuff to piss people off. Yeah. All I'm saying is the far right thinks Trump is literally Jesus. And at some point, it's like everything he does, they think is good.
Hey,
hi. And at some point, it's like, I think it's healthy to establish a line and say, yeah, that's probably too much.
I agree.
So, Isaac, what if he's doing a really exceptional job?
Doesn't matter.
Not quite
That's
done,
not how it works.
But it does work if you change the Constitution.
I don't think changing the Constitution. The left, when Biden was in there, wanted to change the Constitution. They wanted to change freedom of speech because I think we're going a little bit too far. F off. That's what I say to politicians that say they want to change freedom of speech. The same thing with, hey, we should here's my thought. Was it Teddy? Was it Teddy that changed it because he went again and then
Austin changed a ton of
times. Theodore. No, not Teddy. It was the other
FDR.
Franklin.
FDR. He you can't go 4 terms or whatever. Didn't he go 3?
He went 3 in it.
He went
2.5 and died.
Yeah, not cool. I want less power to politicians, not more. That's not what Republicans stand for. That's what conservatives don't stand for that.
If they legally change the Constitution, which they can't. I mean, they won't. I don't even know.
You'd have to get 2/3 of the House.
Yeah, 2/3 of the House.
Changing our founding fathers' Constitution. F off.
It happens though.
They've done it 20 plus times.
I don't think doing that's a good idea. I don't care how many times.
So you don't think it's a good idea that they let women vote?
How about slaves?
I stand corrected.
Slaves, Isaac.
No, I don't think slaves.
At one point, it was in the Constitution.
Correct. Okay. I think within reason, it's okay. But if you start, don't think giving more power to politicians, even if you think they're wonderful and the best people on the planet, is not a good idea. Because in the future, it sets a precedent, and you can let these stupid politicians say, "Hey, look, Trump did it in the past. We can do it now." Same thing with when the Dems are in charge. When Biden's there, and he's like, "Let's change freedom of speech so that we can censor people because they're saying mean things about us, and we need to control." No.
Okay, if the change to the Constitution then limits government, you'd be for changing the Constitution as a limiting principle.
Correct.
Okay.
Because I think you need to elected officials I think giving the people more power is better than giving the government more power.
So we'll say if they did term limits and you wanted to do a constitution
term limits, all day. Because the founding fathers felt that they politicians should take the George Washington approach. Hold on, let me finish. The George Washington approach was, hey guys, I'm George Washington and I'm awesome, and we just got away from a king. I know that I have to be take a step back and let the people rule. And over time, I shouldn't stay here too long because I don't want to become a king. So over time, I'm just gonna, take a step back and let somebody else take the reins. That's not what Trump wants to do if you let him do a third term. He keeps his power. That's not what the freaking career politicians want to do. They keep their power. So he was like, yeah, let's not do term limits. But no, they're not doing that. They're staying in there forever until they become skeletons, and then they're still making the decisions. You need to put term limits in place, and 85% of America agrees with it.
So you're only good with changing the Constitution if you agree with it?
If it, like I said before, if it comes to limiting the power of the government and giving the people more freedom, I'm for it.
Like I said, as long as you agree with it, you're for changing the Constitution.
I just don't think giving politicians more power and precedent.
I agree with you, but
future.
2 minutes ago you were just like, I don't want to change the Constitution.
And what did I say? I said I was corrected in that regard, where women should be able to vote.
You have a lot of pre-workout today. Coffee. He's all wild.
He's wild. I had espresso.
I can tell you're wild.
I ran out of coffee, so I subbed in 2 cups of espresso.
Yeah,
you're a little. Yeah, he's a little tight.
Yeah,
it's a little tight.
FDR died
in
his 4th term. Yeah. So then after that, they were like, "Yeah, you can't do that because if you have some a-hole that finagles the system to stay in there forever, it's not about the good people.
Right.
Don't think about." You love Trump so much. I think a 3rd term's a great idea because you need to keep extending out his ideas. It doesn't matter if he is the best person in the world. It's the opposite side, or somebody super bad gets in there and tries to finagle the system you can't let them establish a precedent. You can't.
Now, what about JD Vance running as president and then Trump's his vice president? That would be kind of like.
Is he allowed, to do that?
It's a loophole, right?
Is he allowed to do that?
I don't know. I'm iffy on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's allowable.
I don't know what the verbiage is on that. I remember reading
loophole. Can you? So I don't know if it's allowed right now.
Yeah, but would that be a troll in itself?
Right. Totally a troll. They're totally trolling for sure.
So if he could do that, and then JD Vance could step down,
and then he becomes president.
Man, that's
wait.
Russian
scroll up to the comments.
That's like Putin did that.
Scroll up on the comments there.
Which one? Oh yeah, he called you out. No one ever said change free speech.
Source. I think it was Barack Obama was in Kamala Harris during the last election were saying that they need to limit. I don't even know how it was worded, but he was saying we need to limit what people can say on the internet and platforms on the internet and something along those lines out of Obama's mouth. So, and it was in Kamala Harris interview. It was a long form interview with Shannon Sharp, I believe.
Okay.
And she said, you got to be careful what people are saying and we have to monitor it and we need to wrangle it. It's like, no. I mean, I'm not okay with censorship.
Not as a government.
Not as a government. That's not. Let the people say whatever the hell they want, whatever awful things they want to say. Let the Nazis say the terrible shit that they want to say.
Right.
And then the people on the internet will destroy them.
Right. Yeah. And I think what they were talking about was more regulations than it was addition to the Constitution. Yeah. I think it would have been conflict of the Constitution, but you can Google that. I'm telling you, man. And the interview, and I listened to long form content from both Trump and from both Kamala, so that I could kind of get an idea because I love podcasts. And she did say that, and I don't like that one bit.
Trump's like a fisherman; he throws stuff out. He has no intention. Yeah, I agree with that. That's what he does. That's just a freaking spoof, like make people mad. I truly believe. I think the heads out of their asses do the job. That's it. I agree with that. Obama and HRC talked about the Constitution being a living document should be changed,
spreading misinformation, disinformation, malinformation.
That one pisses me off
What's
there.
That?
Malinformation.
Malinformation is information that's true, but it's harmful to the public.
Malinformation?
Disinformation. What's the
misinformation?
Misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation.
What is malinformation?
Information that's true. It's true statistics, but letting the people know it is harmful to them.
That's a thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Because what happened with COVID? Some of that stuff was proven true. And then they're like, whoa, we're wrong. So it's hurtful to people, so we can't talk about it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, let me give you a context.
COVID was
Like,
was in a lab. Was made in a lab.
There's proof that there's aliens.
You don't share it because
we can't share it because it's malinformation. Because panic, and
yep.
explosion,
people question religion. People question it's too scary.
Wow, that's freaking bonkers. Yep. Malinformation. Yeah, I've never even. That's crazy. Okay, what's the 12th? Joe, what's the 12th Amendment?
And like the 20s. Man, the glare in here this morning.
You can't do that to the 12th Amendment. What's the 12th Amendment?
Which one is the 12th?
Hold on, we're not.
The 20s say a person can be elected more than twice, right? I had a football coach for a government and history teacher in high school.
Oh, that's the amendment governs president and vice president.
So he can't be a vice president.
At some point, people got to be like, yeah, man, that's not cool. Like, I think voting, I don't think people would.
I mean, unless it's an extreme far right, I don't think you're going to do it.
Right.
Okay, here's a good one. I want to get into this. Julie's going to go bonkers when we talk about this. What do you think of the SAVE Act? It will require anyone that changes their name, like married women, anyone that moves, anyone that registers to vote, go to the Board of Elections to register instead of online, like 95% of the people do.
Is that's for voting?
The SAVE? No, yeah, I think so.
Here, move the mouse so I can read it again. What do you think? SAVE Act?
The SAVE Act is a federal bill introduced January 2025. That aims to amend the National Voter Registration Act. This is back into voting of 1993 by requiring individuals to provide documentary proof of U.S. citizenship when registering to vote in federal elections. This is what we've talked about.
I know the left says that, like, oh, you're just trying to get less people to vote overall.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's the case.
I want people who deserve to vote and are allowed to vote to vote.
Yeah,
I want that to happen.
My way of thinking will always be, if there's loopholes within the system for people that aren't allowed to vote, then you need to eliminate the loopholes.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to, I don't want it to be harder to make people to vote, but I want to be 100% sure that the system is only letting people who, like Luke said, deserve to vote, are able to vote. And I think if you want to make it free to get whatever ID you got to get, I know it was a pain in the ass for my wife to change her name. I know that sucked and it took a lot of time, but like, if you have to do that, you have to do that.
You have to go.
And it's not just women, Julie, or whoever that was.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it Julie? What was her name?
Julie. It was Julie.
So Julie, it's not just women. What if I changed my name to
Dana
Zuski, to my wife's maiden name? Don't be such a bigot that you think only men or only women are changing their name. It's 2025. Men change their last names to women's last names.
Do you want to change our names or let's just do it together?
You go to Rams Bottom. That'd be awesome. I'll go to Danazuski. Joe, what's your wife's maiden name?
Goist.
Goist?
Joe
Goist? I think that sounds way better.
Goist?
Goist. Just Goist.
Goist. Joe Goist.
Don't be so bigoted that you think that men don't change their last name. If I have to go through that, I'll do it for America.
I think, well, the thing is though, you have to go into the BMV sometime for certain things and go sit down, and you can't do it online. There's all kinds of stuff you have to do. What's like,
Kellen corrected us too, by the way.
What is like voting is like a main thing that we do in the United States.
Right.
We should know who you are, where you live.
Right.
Well,
all that stuff.
I'm not letting the government off the hook on this one from a technology standpoint, that if you have all these siloed systems where you change your name in one and it doesn't roll out to all of it, that's just stupid. Like, why when you get married, that it just doesn't, kind of go into all the other systems?
Yeah, right.
That's dumb.
True too.
Yeah, it's just another
Ohio
thing.
bill. It's mostly women. Anybody. Goofy. She just called you Goofy because she said that.
This is an Ohio bill. It is mostly women. Anybody. Goofy. Oh, is statistically mostly women. All I'm saying is, don't stop trying to
Joy. Don't do it because he'll go down and change his name right now just to prove the point.
Right.
Don't do it.
There are a minority. There are a minority of men that change their last name, and for you to just exclude them like that, it hurts.
Was that hot? What was the Hot Tub Time Machine? The one guy changed his name to his wife's name, and they were all good.
They're all giving a hard time.
Why?
Kellen proved us wrong, or Kellen proved malinformation. Scroll up to Kellen's comment.
Kellen.
Malinformation can be information used out of context or to harm or manipulate. So correct information. I'm trying to think of an example.
Give me an example of that, Kellen. Kellen, we need an example. That's
so you could say
out
a
of
statistics.
context?
You could use a statistic to prove like I don't even know. I need a specific example, but you could use statistics and say people are thinking one way, and then be like, that's why this is right no matter what. And you're trying to like
or like give a survey result, like give a survey result, and then not say the actual people or the location that the survey was. Like the people were polled,
manipulating true information.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And that's the thing. I always like these surveys. Do you ever see these surveys that they run on like on Facebook or YouTube?
You control this thinking thing. This is driving me crazy.
No,
I can't see anything.
Okay, sorry.
Why wouldn't you have to prove?
Like surveys, Isaac? Do you ever see like a Yahoo survey and it'll be like this people polled and this was Trump's down 38% approval. They did like 1,000 people in New York. You're like, I'm like, what?
Did you see Chuck Schumer in the interview where the dude he's like Trump is down in the first 100 in the first 100 days. Trump is the lowest of any president in the last 10 years or whatever. And one of the reporters is like, hey, Mr. Schumer, just so you know, the recent poll of 100 days shows that only 20% of people think you're doing a good job. And he's like, well, polls come and go. Like,
They don't. It's bad. It's so bad. All right. We want to talk about the Mooney fight, shall we?
Yeah, the news doesn't cover it, and this is why we're relevant.
Why? Okay.
Why wouldn't you cover that?
All right. Well, hold on. Let's set the pits. Set the pits. So during prom, it was not. I'm sorry. It was what's it called? The promenade, the thing in the beginning.
Yeah, where they show off all the people and all the dresses and stuff. Yeah.
There was a fight, and we posted it. Our video got taken down.
Was that Mooney's gym?
I think it was Mooney's gym. Yeah. And there was a huge fight. There's still videos. Ours gets pinged because I'm sure somebody complained.
Right.
And we got to take it down. Huge fight.
Yeah.
Now it wasn't like girls. I didn't see like girls or guys in like tuxedos. It was like guys in like shorts.
It's like a good old fight at a prom.
Yeah. There was like a guy getting his dreads pulled.
Yeah.
And there was people getting punched, haymakers, parents. And it was weird. Like the parents were just kind of standing there watching. Like it was very strange.
Yeah.
What I heard or what people were saying was these weren't Mooney kids.
Okay.
These were just kids, people that just showed up at promenade to start a fight.
And wanted to beat a Mooney kid up.
Dude, there was like if you watch the video, it's insane.
Yeah.
What's amazing to me and amazing to Isaac, the news never covered it.
Why wouldn't you cover it?
They never said anything. They never pushed it out.
Yeah.
I looked on I Googled fights. There were fights in Girard. There were fights in Mahoning County schools. They've all covered it. Why do they not cover Mooney?
So they did cover other fights in our area.
100%. Girard had fights. Yeah, I don't understand.
I wonder how much money Mooney grads are paying the.
Is it Mooney grads?
Mooney grads are paying the local or sponsoring the local news. So they feel obligated to not say bad things about Mooney.
Saying you'll go to hell. You'll go to hell if you post this.
Maybe it's the Catholic Church telling them what they can and can't do.
Right. What is
that's
the deal?
That's influence.
Lisa just said because it's Mooney. Like what makes Mooney so special?
Right. Private school.
There's Ursuline. There's Mooney. What makes him so like? Why? Somebody explain to me why. Why would the local news not cover them? He's just straight up.
Mooney.
Somebody went to Ursuline or Boardman right there. Hey, did you go to Boardman?
Somebody went to Boardman. Ed went to Boardman and lost to Mooney in the playoffs. I feel that pain. We lost to Ursuline in football every time too.
And had to go to Boardman.
Right.
Did they cover it up years ago when they were drinking? Yeah, that was another one. Do you remember that?
Can't remember. Or did it leak first?
Do you remember that they were drinking on the bus and stuff? The kids, they would have like champagne and stuff,
sure.
And the parents were like, "Oh, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine," and we let them have it.
Our kids are perfect.
Like somebody explained to me how Mooney doesn't go on the news. I
wonder if it's the Catholic Church, because didn't the Catholic Church influence? They said the Catholic Church influenced the casino not being downtown and being out in Austin town.
Dude, they have so much. The Catholic Church has so much
because of their fundraising things where they play. They let you play blackjack and stuff.
Yeah.
So they pull money from the church.
You got to understand the power the Catholic Church has over voters and with politicians. Because
100%,
that priest can get up there and be like, I'm voting for
whoever.
Tito Brown. I think you should too.
Right? Yeah.
Or the Catholic Church supports Tito Brown. And then all those people are going to vote
for
Tito Brown.
So is it the church? Is it Mooney alumni?
I don't know.
That have sponsored the news.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be money, right? That's influencing that. I'd love to interview somebody from 21 or wherever.
Why
wouldn't you cover it?
Yeah, and you know they knew about it because they watch our page and every page.
The same reason many church festivals in Mahoning Valley have ceased to happen. People behaving badly at public events.
I just don't get it. Somebody needs to explain to me why they did that. Like why? I'm blown. Joe,
Right.
you know why?
All it takes is one phone call to the news desk and say, if this comes through, don't cover it, and that's it.
From who?
Really?
From who? Who makes that call?
Someone who's, I mean, a PR firm. It could be just somebody that is pro Mooney. They are huge.
Are they worried about like race?
Bad PR for everything from tuitions and falling
Money. Back to the money.
Money. Yep.
That's crazy.
Could be race.
Could be, yeah, because it's like if it was, I didn't even see the whole video. I saw like clips because it got taken down. But
I'm blown away that the news wouldn't cover it. I just don't like that right there. To me, proves the corruption of our local media. Right there proves they won't cover something like that, and you know damn well.
Okay. Do you think same thing would happen if it's Poland? It's all white kids.
They'd be all over it,
and they're fighting. Kids come from Struthers, also white kids, and they're fighting. But then a rich Poland guy's like, "Hey, don't do that." But they don't care because they wouldn't do that. Mooney is private students, like you said, tuition,
right?
And they got to pay to go there, and it makes the school look bad. Poland's going to have people because it has its area, no matter what. It's a public school. It's probably because it's a private school.
All I know,
it's got to be something with a private school.
It's bonkers. And then we also had, I won't say his name. We also had. Did you see? And I took it down out of. Somebody called me and asked me to take it down. But one of the board of directors,
from Mooney,
from Mooney. This is fun. I made a post after our post got taken down. I made a post saying Facebook took it down. We're challenging with Facebook. He said, "Why don't you guys just forget about it and get a life? Get a life." I googled the guy.
He's a Mooney director.
Mooney on the board of directors for Mooney. I was like,
whoa. If you're on the board though, and you're trying to protect the brand of the school, whatever, can you blame them?
I would go about it a different way than calling us to telling us to get a life. Obviously, he didn't know what he was getting into because he took his comment down immediately, and then I got a phone call.
Isn't that just classic Mooney though? Like, we're so much better than you, and you're not. Why are you even talking about this? It has nothing to do with you. Don't worry about our problems. Worry about your poor people problems.
I hated taking that. I hated taking that. I hated taking my post out, calling that guy out, but I did because I respect the guy who called me. So,
if you could just see the legacy list of people who support Mooney, you would absolutely understand.
It makes sense, huh?
100% it makes sense.
So somebody with a lot of money called
the people, the people that are connected to that.
I'll tell you what, though, those people got to be so pissed about open enrollment. Because I feel like open enrollment 100%. In our area has obliterated the powerhouses of Mooney and Ursuline because they could cheat and now everybody's cheating. And they're like, oh,
I agree with that 100%.
It's totally obliterated.
Why don't we ever getting phone calls from people with power offering us money and we
won't I'll take it. Pay me. Tell me to stop talking about it and write me a check for $20K. I'll do it tomorrow. I love Mooney. $25,000? I love Mooney. Mooney's the best.
Dude, I think they're just going to unalive both of you. It's not going to be paying you for silence.
Why kill me and risk the court case when you can pay me $50,000?
You pay us. Yeah, I'll tell you what. We're going to do a new thing. You don't like a topic? We'll accept checks for $10,000. We will not talk about it.
Just all you got to do. I think we have our account set up where you can Venmo us, say, hey, stop talking about this topic, and Venmo us 10 grand. We'll move on to something else.
So the two of you are corruptible. They can get.
I don't think it's corruptible. I think we're selling.
If they wait, no.
Listen, Joe, we have had so many people complain about us. We have said, you write us a check.
What was
it? $200,000.
We go away.
$200,000, $100K to Luke, $100K to me. MLO Bros is done. I'll make a new. I mean, we might start a new podcast with a new name, but you can take all of our followers. We got like 14,000 followers. I'll be done. I'll take a break. I'll go on a nice vacation.
200,000 does it. Done right now.
Yeah, Mooney, you guys are rich, right? You guys have got all kinds of money. Write me a check, $200K. I'm done.
Tito Brown, we'll take money right out of the water fund.
Right. You can pay me. You bought your wife's car with the water fund. 40K. I got nothing but good things to say about Tito. 40K.
So cool. Yep, 200,000. You go the rights.
Why would you kill us? Why would you try and kill us when you can just write a check?
It's cheaper. I can get someone for $5,000 to really take you out, and
You think $5K for a hitman?
Oh yeah,
Man, we got
easy.
Easy. Thinking about that, Joe.
5K?
Oh, easy. 5K's on the high side.
Is that like a legit?
Have you Googled
assassin?
hitman?
No, I haven't Googled it. That's
How do you
terrible.
know that? That you don't know.
Oh,
Hold on,
Google that. Google that.
I want to see
How much does it cost to buy a hitman? We're gonna get like they're gonna
FBI. The FBI is on their way.
Hold on. Hiring a hitman is illegal, and discussing attempting one is criminal charge.
You can get around it. You can get around it. Tell a hypothetical story.
Wait.
So say my
No, I got it. It keeps going. It said it led with that, but then it gives you the info. It said, that said, if you're asking out of curiosity, look at this. Maybe for a story, a podcast, or dark humor, here are some general answers publicly known FBI stings. Undercover hitmen in stings were offered between $5,000 and $20,000, but amounts varied wildly based on location, motive, and who's being targeted.
So what we do, Tito, $4,999
Below market value.
right below market value. Will get me saying nothing but good things about you, buddy.
$4,999, dude. He'll chip it.
Just don't kill me.
Just to get rid of us, he'll chip in that extra $1. There is no doubt he'll chip in that extra $1.
$4,999 shuts my mouth.
Oh God! Wait, Ed said you guys can't do that. I need someone else to talk about the area besides Ron Verbs and Stan Rivers. I mean, I'm sorry, and I agree with you. I'll miss you, but 200,000, 100,000 each.
200K? No, what we do, we take that money. Right?
Would you get bought out? Would you sell out?
How much, Joe?
No.
You
money
think
money can't buy me?
You think I'm worth more than 200K?
What? You should not. No, your future.
What's my value?
Your future in the marketplace is well beyond 200.
Really?
For sure.
That's the nicest thing he's ever said to
Joe,
us.
yeah, you think I'm worth more than
It's the
200K?
unmeasurables. It's we'd lose so much more if you were gone.
Joe is gonna go hire a hitman as soon. He's like, it's only $5,000. I gotta get rid of these two. As soon as DJ is back there calling a hitman right now.
So you don't know somebody who, if you put 5,000, they'd take somebody out for you. You can't think of anybody in your Rolodex.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, $5,000 to murder someone probably isn't like. That's going to be a shitty hitman. Like, I'm just saying right now.
No, that's a good one. In all
that is a good one. I call BS. I'm like, that doesn't make it. If it
I'm
was
not comfortable paying
5K,
somebody just $5,000 to kill somebody, because that gets back to, if they don't do a good job, that gets back to me paying that guy.
Yeah,
that's like never coming back.
I feel like it's not a good deal.
If you guys ever need a referral, you can
hitman, dude. I see BJ. Here's what I see. Wait, hold on. BJ's got a gun. Hey, Isaac, he takes his little hat.
Yeah, there's a
measures the wind right with the sniper rifle. That's what I picture.
BJ's actually a hitman. There's a gun under his fedora. Or BJ takes us out and he has the hitman wear a fedora. So he's like, I want him to know it was me. I want him to know it was me. You wear a fedora when you do it. That's going to cost you an extra $1,000. Done.
Oh my God. This is so out of control. Set up on it says, I got a guy.
Yeah, because that means Joe just admitted that he's thought about it. He's like, Googled some prices.
He knew. I mean, Joe knew right on.
I'm telling you, man.
That was when we left him. The first time when we were supposed to meet Joe the first time, like 4 years ago. We left him at the Mocha house, and we never showed up.
Yeah, South.
Why'd you pick that scab? I was just over that, and you're gonna re-traumatize.
I feel like, I mean, if that's the case, and $5,000 gets you a good hitman, I feel like the Clinton family hasn't unalived enough people. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, they're gonna pay more than that. I mean, it's probably you got to pay more if
the more complicated it is.
You want it to be an unaliving. Yeah,
right. I mean,
like Epstein's guy that totally didn't strangle him and he hung himself. Like,
right. That's going to be way more like an inside job kind of thing.
Think of all the stuff that guy had on a very powerful people. They probably
it's got to be millions.
That entire prison was cased.
Wow. Well, there you go. That's gone a long way. So we've gone from we talked about the Mooney fight and getting assassinated by the Catholic Church. Another highlight of our podcast. We were talking about the Catholic. Do you think the Catholic Church offs people?
Oh, dude, the Catholic Church, what the
Oh,
people
you
don't
better
understand.
be careful. There's a
The
lot of
Catholic
Catholics.
Church made Western culture. Like the amount of power that they had
Oh, 100%.
in Europe and like making the world what it is today is unbelievable.
I agree.
Like, I don't think the average person realizes how much.
Oh,
power.
dude, they have a ton of power now. Still, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled.
Which me and Joe talked about this the other day. Watch The Chosen and talk like, dude, Jesus. The Catholic Church is straight up pretty far away from what Jesus was talking about.
I don't know. Like mom's Catholic, never converted to Catholic. Pop is our dad's Lutheran. We went
which
Lutheran.
Martin Luther literally what he did. He was the first Protestant. He nailed his 99 thesis to the front door of the church and said, "Here's everything that's wrong with the church. We need to reform." And the only reason he didn't get murdered was because the invention of the printing press allowed him to spread the information out. Every Protestant before Martin Luther was burned at the stake by the Catholic Church. That is burned at the stake when you talk against the church. But he had the invention of the printing press.
And then, well, anyways, so then we were kind of the Catholic Church with that. So we went Lutheran, but I'd still go to like grandma's church who was Catholic. Yeah. And I remember getting like insulted because they wouldn't let you come up for communion.
No, you're not good enough. You're not a Catholic.
You're not good, right?
But I think
that was always an issue for me.
It's a good thing that people have, like, having their discipline and going to church and trying to be like Jesus and trying to be a good person. Religion is a good thing for society.
Oh, 100%.
So I'm not saying that people having their disciplines is bad. I think it's good. That's honorable, very honorable.
I agree with that. And now we're
domination deviates from them. Follow the scripture.
Maggie was actually raised. Maggie, my wife, was actually raised Catholic as Lutheran, and now we're both Methodist because we like the kids programs at the church.
Right.
I mean, that's like it's all.
And I think there's statistics that show that a kid raised in a church is raised by a good church.
That's what
and follows religion is going to be
regardless of
statistically,
what
regardless of what denomination, is statistically going to become a better person.
They have
over time.
Yeah, they have Sunday school. They have kids club. They have youth group. Like, and the kids love it.
Yeah.
So that's
What's next? What else are we talking
about? Friday's podcast. Have you gotten into this at all?
No, give it to me.
So Friday's podcast is going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. You're going to not want to miss this one at 9:00. So we have Jennifer and Michael Saccone coming on. They are not related. Michael is the clerk of courts in Mahoning County.
Okay.
Jennifer is like a deputy clerk of court or something like that.
Yep.
These guys are responsible for a bunch of different stuff, like organizing the court cases, paperwork with the courts, the title, like car title stuff. It's a very big department. And Jennifer wasn't elected. She was nominated, put in power by Michael. She got like the old clerk in her position had like $80,000 salary.
Okay.
She came in and was like at 105.
So we're going to find out why.
And hold on, not done yet. Okay. And then 4 weeks later, she got a $30,000 raise.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
News called her on it. Michael is also getting sued now for breaking the First and 14th Amendment or something like that.
Okay.
Because of like court cases and not showing time. He's gotten in that department's gotten in trouble for various like timing things. They got held in contempt.
Yeah.
They've gotten rid of people. Jen Saccone is a lawyer also who we've had on the show before.
Actually.
Right. She got in trouble because as a clerk of courts, you're not permitted to continue doing law in those courts.
Yeah.
And she kept doing them.
Right.
So she got in trouble for that too.
Right.
They called us to come on the show.
They didn't want to go on the news.
They refused to talk to the news. I had a big time reporter messaging us saying, make sure you ask him this.
Yeah, we'll ask. So here's what we're going to do. I am not taking a side on this because that grosses me out. So just so you know, everybody at home knows, I am not taking a side on this. I will let them come on the podcast.
Yep.
We will do a long form interview and we will ask them these questions and we'll let them give their case. What I want and what I would love to happen, we had David Beatrice in the comments of our post saying these are awful lawyers, this and that and this and that. Beatrice, I'd love for you to come on and give your side. Not Friday, next week.
Yeah, come on, Beatrice.
Come on next Friday and give your 2 cents and how you feel about this situation. I would love to have that. And you could talk for as long as you want, big guy.
Beatrice, I will put our differences aside. I know I've been a little critical over the time.
Has been critical.
I've made some videos calling you out on several topics.
Which if you want to, we can argue about too. It's fun.
But I would love to have you come on and talk about it.
Right.
But we're gonna have the Sacones on Friday.
Yeah.
I want to play middle ground, but I'm gonna ask them tough questions.
Of course.
We're gonna ask them tough questions.
And like have your time to talk, but I still think that's shady. I don't care what anybody says. That is on the surface.
Let them come in here.
Shady as heck.
Right.
And everything I think that's wrong with Youngstown.
So we'll see.
And I overall don't have the biggest amount of respect for lawyers. Like I just professional arguers.
And then I also talked to somebody at the commissioner's office, and the way the budget works, this was interesting to me. Commissioners set a budget for each department.
Okay.
After that, they have no say. They have no say of where the money goes.
Okay.
So if I'm in charge of a department, the commissioners give me $1 million.
Okay.
To run my department for the year.
Then you can give it to whoever you want.
I can pay you $900,000, and there's nothing that can be done about it. They said,
yeah.
So I give you $900,000, then $100,000 left over.
Yeah,
that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
Because I guess that Sacone is an elected official.
Yeah,
so he's in charge of that department. That which is crazy. I want to be in the live audience.
And also, I follow Beatrice on social media. Dude's covering the Luigi Mangione case thing, and he's making TikToks. He's becoming TikTok famous as a lawyer. He's doing a good job. Like, I respect his.
I've disagreed with some of the stuff because
as his political seat as a Democrat is what you disagree with. But as a dude, like he's a client of my wife's pet sitting service, and we watched his dog. My wife did. And like I have respect for the man. Might disagree with some of his politics, but that's Come on, Beatrice. I'm a huge fan. I loved your legal show on 570 when he had it.
If it makes
6
it
p.m.
better,
I watch it.
I don't like Tom McCabe, who's in charge of the Mahoning County Republicans. I don't like it's the political party crap that drives me crazy because these guys will hurt the public to support their party. That's when I get mad. Yeah, right there. It's
because as the head of the Democratic Mahoning County Democrat said, it's a bus stop, Luke.
Right.
And even if it's a bad person, it gets us. That Democrat gets us in the direction we're trying to go.
Right.
Even if the Republican's a good person or the vice versa. It's like that is the grossest thing about politics.
Yeah.
It's not about the party affiliation. It's about how much of a piece of crap they are.
Yeah.
That's what I don't want in there. The biggest piece of crap. I'll take lesser of the pieces of crap.
I just can't. Hold on. Sorry.
Are you texting your mom? Dad?
No, it's work. It's just we're so busy at work right now.
We have 6 listings.
We're so busy
and 2 buyers. And we're financing 2 of the buyers.
I'm putting 9 acres up in New Middletown. I have showing houses. Like it's all I do.
I have a listing coming in Canfield. We've been busy, but I think that's a good time.
Sorry,
but we still have some time.
We're good. Keep talking. What else do you want to talk about?
I have to pee. Joe, can you come take care of Luke while I go pee?
I'll just sit here and look at the camera.
Anybody want to call in?
Somebody call in and talk to me.
Call in and talk to Luke. I have to go to the bathroom.
Go. Are you going to number 1 or number 2?
Number 1. I drank so much water and coffee.
So what are we going to talk about, everybody? So this is what you do when you're by yourself.
What?
Like so if I do when you're by yourself and you do your show, you just sit here.
You have to use your radio voice. Use your radio voice.
Okay.
So I'm like when you do your show by yourself, I was listening. Like that's impressive.
Why?
Well, you're just talking to yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody's calling. You're just talking about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you do that?
I don't know. I was built for that, I guess.
Like if I started to do that, I'm going to ramble off into who knows what, like talking about like.
You end up rambling sometimes. You really do. Get caught up in thing. I mean, did I really just talk about that for 15 freaking minutes?
Yeah, right.
Yep.
That's crazy. I don't know how you guys do that. Well, you have Kellen though, and which is funny too. I was listening to your guys' show. Did you guys ever listen to Kellen and Joe? They're fantastic. Like It's such a different thing between Isaac and I and you. Like you and Kellen, it makes me laugh because you got accused the other day of like over talking her. Like this is a week ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And like people were like, "Why don't you let your co-host talk, Joe?" And I'm like, maybe they should watch us because you can't get a word in edgewise when Isaac and I are here.
Yeah,
and it's just interesting. So I don't know what else do you want to talk about. Joe?
What'd you think about Trump's Pope meme?
What in God's name? He just does that to piss people off.
He does,
right? And then he did a Darth Vader one. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Or it was so, so he did it, and he had like a red lightsaber, and the Democrats were like, that's a Sith, that's bad, that's evil. I'm like, oh my God, he did that on purpose because he's evil. I'm like, oh for God's sakes, like he just does that stuff on purpose.
But what about? I mean, personally, I don't mind. But what when they start using the White House accounts and the official POTUS accounts to do shit like that?
Do it. I don't
care.
Don't care. Just do it. Just piss people. Like they're doing it on purpose. And the people they don't. I can't believe these guys are so dumb. Like if they just ignored them, somebody call in. He'd stop. No, I don't think so. No, I didn't think he'd do it on purpose. He just doesn't throw them off. Like you said, he's doing that, throwing that stuff out so the media goes this way, and then they're doing stuff over here. Sorry. So we're talking about Trump. Do you see the picture of the Pope?
Give me the picture of the Sith Lord.
That's what I said,
dude. So it was wild.
So
why would you give yourself I don't think you understand what the red lightsaber means.
Do you think he did it on purpose?
For sure. Well, I think it's red for
kid.
Republican. I think it's red for Republican is what they went with a lightsaber.
Dude.
But it's like, dude
total Sith. Total red Sith. Look, like right here, I got it all. Yeah, total Sith.
We are now getting more examples of TDS.
Trump
atheist outrage over this. Trump derangement. Atheist outrage over this.
Atheist? Oh, because of the Pope thing. So she's saying the left, which are atheists, are upset about it.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
fun. That's
not
funny.
The problem is it's not smart from a presidential standpoint to do that.
He does.
I know you're doing it.
Why are we surprised? Why is anyone surprised at this time? What
was the other thing that he did that?
Why is anyone surprised?
For his personal page, he was swearing, and everybody was getting mad at him for swearing. Wasn't that you posted something about that?
Did I?
Something about one of the, I think it was Trump from his personal page was swearing. And have you guys noticed that politicians, and I commented on it, have you guys noticed that politicians and all these elected officials nationally are starting to swear more to get a point I'm so tired of this shit in their meetings? Yeah. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah.
And I think
it has to relate to the people more.
They're making this push to relate to the people more because they're realizing that more of a low-key, not as formal setting like podcasters are the reason Trump won.
Oh, 100%.
And now they're trying to adjust course and be like, guys, we need to become more cool. We need to swear more.
Oh, 100%.
So now they're making this push, all of them, both sides, and trying to relate to the people more. And it's just coming off as gross.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously doing it. It's like, dude, come on.
It's like a dad or like a 7-year-old, I'm hip, I'm cool, look at me, guys. You know what I mean? 100%. It's the left atheist news to me. I would say in the grand type of the grand stereotypes of things.
Yeah.
I'm stereotyping a left or right. I would say yes. Would you? Isn't the right hardcore religion? And
I think it's
right,
always been
the
the left has been more atheist, and the right has been more Bible thumpers.
Right.
And then the most interesting thing
typical
is
stereotype.
that the left is obviously more socialist government control.
Right.
The right is more. But what I see happening is the left is you can't be, hey, we want more control and we want less religion. And the right is we want less control from the government and more religion.
Right.
The left has it's warped and changed from the party of empathy and the party of caring for people, and it's honestly becoming more of a religion where it's hey, if you're not with us, you're pieces of crap.
100%. We've been called that before.
Yeah, and if you're not on our team, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
So it's almost becoming a religion in itself.
Yeah.
This leftward leaning ideology, because they don't have a religion, because they're more atheist. It's interesting. But I think the left losing their empathy is another reason why. Like they were always accepting. We'll talk about whatever, you know, we're working class, this and you know, and it's changed. It's
both,
not that
I think
anymore.
both sides, both extremes.
100%.
It's both sides. It's not just the left.
Yeah,
it's the both extreme
but
sides.
the right
draw a line in the sand.
being religious, it's expected.
Yeah, that's kind of what
it's expected. You're not good enough because you're a sinner. You know, and that's what the purple haired freaks on the left. You know, that's what the right always says.
All right, one more topic before we go.
Okay,
we got. Last week you made a video and there's like 10,000 views, by the way. I don't know if you
is it really? I didn't even realize
7,000, 8,000 views, something like that.
Yeah.
Where I on Everything Canfield, for those of you who don't know us, we run a bunch of Facebook groups.
Everything Canfield, everything Poland, everything Austintown, everything Youngstown, all of the everything.
Oh, it's like there's like 50,000 people.
Yeah.
This, which we use
probably more than that.
Which we use.
Yeah. For real estate.
For our real estate.
Yeah.
And for our mortgage,
and
we don't let any other realtors.
Podcast. Yeah, we do. We
100%.
We made the groups. That was the original intention of making those 100%. Groups is to share our podcast, to advertise ourselves. That was planned 100%. From day one.
So anybody who says in those groups says you guys just use it for business, yes, 100% we do.
We do.
We admit it. Never said we did.
And hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but every other company ever has a social media platform. We thought of this idea. It was obviously a good idea because it's working.
Yeah. So another thing we do in these groups is we charge for businesses to advertise.
Reason why we did that, and I talk about this in the video, please go watch it if you have time. It's on the MLO Bros page. I explain exactly why we started doing it. The reason why you have to charge people to advertise. It's currently $150 for 3 posts a week, 12 posts a month
in any of the groups.
In any of the groups, $150,
which is cheap, by the way,
for advertising. Go check a pricing on a billboard.
Yep.
So the reason why we put that paywall in place is because if you don't have a paywall in these groups for businesses to advertise their products and services, it will become spam.
Yep.
Everybody and their mother, once they realize that the groups have value and there's 10,000 people specifically in Austintown, Youngstown, any of these communities, they realize that there's value in it. That's why, and then they just spam the living crap out of it, and the group dies because of it.
Well, and the problem is you have everybody under the sun advertising. People stop
posting I lost my dog. The fireworks are making my dog poop in the yard.
But people stop reading it because all it is, like there are groups out there that aren't monitored.
Yeah.
Like there's something called Youngstown Now. Yeah. All it is ads, right?
Yeah. So it loses the quality of the posts.
Correct.
Go down because all it becomes is spam. So we get called out by somebody that says all these guys do is charge for advertising. How do we know where the money is going? What like all they do is self-promote themselves. So yes, we do self-promote ourselves. I made the group. We made the group. It's our group. I'll do whatever the hell I want in my group.
Yep.
We put a paywall up there, yes, to keep the group good. All of that money, and then people complain about what we do with the money. We give that money back to the community through. Do you have the picture of all the things we've donated to?
I was just looking it up.
So we sponsor baseball teams. We sponsor the play, South Range Play. We were on the freaking playbill. Our faces were. We give it to local charities.
The Playhouse.
Local what was the one with the
I can't find
kids?
It in here.
I have the picture. Keep talking. Like, what else do we give them?
We've given it to baseball, softball, basketball, girls basketball, boys basketball.
So, but it's not just teams where. So then what we did was like, hey, we want to give this money back.
Oh, the band, lunch debts at schools.
Yeah, like, Austintown had the lunch debt. We paid it. Full spectrum charity for kids. Yeah, that were kicked out.
We've done golf outing sponsors.
So what happens is we wanted to give the money back in some way, shape, or form because we don't want to pay taxes on it. We just want to write it off. So you do advertising. Yes, we do put our people are like, that's not giving back. That's advertising yourself and self-promoting yourself. Yes. Okay. We do advertise ourselves sometimes. Yes. But then other times, like with Full Spectrum, with the lunch fund, we just wrote him a freaking check and gave it to him. The only time we're doing advertising is when that school play or whatever is like, hey, do you want to put your picture up there? Yeah, sure. Throw the MLO Bros up there. Okay. But other than that, like a lot of these charities, We make videos about it to raise money and give back to the Christmas thing. Like, we're not advertising that other than the video we made, but there's no advertising it. There's no name on anything. We just wrote them a freaking check.
And just to be straight,
some of the little kids that had like softball teams, there were no, the band in Canfield, they're not going to put our sign up. It just wrote them a check. So sometimes it is, sometimes it's not.
The thing about it is, though, we don't have to do that.
Right. It's our business.
Right.
That is a business.
Yep. We don't
have to give that money back. We're a marketing company.
Yeah.
So we've become advertisers and we run these groups, and we're the same thing as what a billboard company does. Yeah. They say, hey, we're up in the middle of Market Street. You're going to get 10,000 views on it. Yeah. We do the exact same thing. We have a group. It's a town hall that people pay to go to. And it's a private group. You have to request to get in. There's 10,000 people from Boardman in that group. And you want to advertise, you pay $150 a month, which is way cheaper than a billboard, and you get 10,000 people in your target market, which is Boardman. And we give that, we do not keep that money, but we could if we wanted to.
Yeah, because we do have a 501(c), but we don't use that for that.
No.
We use the 501(c) for
our events,
our fundraising, and that kind of stuff.
And the only time we did the 501(c)(3) event, we gave all the money back to Rosalie's Forever Footprints.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay. Yep. So for the people that complain that don't know how it works,
send Melissa, message us the form. I'll check it out.
Either a golf fountain. Yeah, we'd love to help. So this year we've been running the numbers, right? And what we make money on from the podcast,
it was like we've donated $6,000 some dollars already.
So we have our groups, which we make advertising money from. Facebook, we just got kicked off because of the fight, but Facebook pays us ad revenue for our videos. For people like you watching at home, we get a couple thousand views. They pay us a couple $100 a month, which should go right into our pocket, but we have it in our bank account. We donate most of that. We have a sponsor in Poland. We have a sponsor in Poland that pays us a couple $100 a month. All of the advertising revenue was given back to baseball teams, or charities. All of it was given back, and then some. And then some of our own Facebook ad revenue, some of our sponsorship money, like almost all of the money we make. We're trying to show $0 at the end of the year because we don't make enough money to like collect a paycheck. Maybe one day we'll collect a paycheck from the ad revenue,
or someone will pay us $200,000
to go away. Yeah. But like right now, all of our money is given back or put into sponsorship of baseball teams or given to charities. Like, we don't have to do that. And people get mad at us. And it's like, dude, number one, a business doesn't have to show you their books.
Yeah.
But like, talk to any of the people that we've given the money to, and like,
we've done. What was funny was whoever that was that made this thing,
they backtracked.
Well, they created no, there were two. Yeah. There was a guy who posted first in Canfield. I kind of called him out, and then I messaged him.
Yeah.
And we were cool. But then there was a fake account.
Yeah, in Austintown
complaint department and that posted, and it was like just created brand new account. The best thing about it was that guy got absolutely
a lot of people came
destroyed. And I was like, wow, people actually support us. Like, we got supported.
But it's the thing is, you can only give, like, we gave so much money back that at this point we have a laundry list of people that we've donated to that came to the rescue. Yeah. So it's like, there's your proof.
Yeah.
You know, there's your proof that we don't.
Yeah, that's great. I feel good about what we do. I don't care. Like we're doing more.
Right. And you can, the thing that's interesting is you can disagree with us. I'm fine with you disagreeing with us. I'm fine with you not liking us. I'm fine with you hating us. I don't care. But where it's like, you guys are keeping the money. We're not.
Yeah, right.
Keeping the advertising money.
Right,
that is yes or no. We are not.
Yeah, there's no.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie. It's like we're making like $1,500 a month.
Right. Where we make our money. So this is the other thing. Where do we make our money from?
Real estate.
We make our money from real estate and mortgage. Yeah. You watch us. There's 35 people watching live right now. We'll get a couple thousand people watching this podcast. If you want to buy a house, you call us for real estate. We've helped a bunch of people this year that watch the show and call us to buy a house, sell a house. We
finance a house.
We finance. We'll refi you if you need to refi, or you're getting a divorce or whatever. That's where we make our money.
Yeah.
And then the cool thing is, because we run those groups, we'll advertise your listing. We'll advertise that we're helping you in those community groups, to get the word spread about your listing or your house that you're trying to sell. That's something, a totally unique experience that no other agent in our area can offer you, because they're not even allowed to post in those groups.
Yeah.
So that's why real estate agents hate us.
And to be honest, we've sold houses and found houses that weren't on the market through the groups, which is pretty cool.
Market.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 times we've done that.
Yeah, and you can say we're unprofessional, you can say whatever you want about us, but we are effective at what we do and communicating.
Yeah.
So Dina says, my cousin's bowling tournament is coming up. Would you like to donate a basket for the Chinese auction?
Dude, I can't do baskets.
Scholarship. Yeah, we don't have the time to go put baskets together. But
send us the form and we can do it.
So what's the thing would be, what's the cousin's bowling tournament? We don't like to sponsor like one kid specific,
or I don't do like, we've had a bunch of requests for like AAU stuff,
AAU baseball teams and basketball teams.
I don't like doing that.
Listen, we want, what the objective is, honestly, is like, hey, there's a lot of sponsors in Canfield. Like, we have sponsors for landscapers in Canfield. What is it? The fertilizer people in Canfield, like all these different companies. If it's being advertised in Canfield, that's why we sponsored that. It was really cool. The music in the park from an like a band, like a public band in Canfield.
Yeah,
so
it's
we
like
gave them, they asked for money. It's like an adult band.
Yeah,
we gave them some money, so it's like a community thing. Same with like high school sports or baseball.
I mean, we'll do the football teams, but I like doing like the girls basketball teams.
Yeah, the stuff that doesn't get
lacrosse, like stuff that
I think we got
get a lot of
cheerleaders.
Cheerleaders.
Yeah,
I like doing stuff like that don't get a lot of attention.
Yes. So helping out the community more so than one individual person. It just, I feel like it,
here you go,
kind of comes from the community, goes back to
people do not understand the power of what you've actually done for them. Social media marketing, being able to target specific your area is not that easy unless you know how to super dive into interest behaviors way more than a demographic circle. So if you're not investing time in learning that or hiring a SMM,
social media marketing,
to do that, freaking anything under $200 target local potentials is
crazy. That was even a thing. Yep. You won't find another form of local targeted marketing.
We have also everybody who's bought marketing,
advertising
in the groups.
We can't guarantee anything,
but most of them are super like, wow.
Yeah. Because you got to think, these companies are getting mad. These people get mad that we don't let them do it for free.
Right.
But they get upset and they want to do it. Why do they want to do it? Because
they know
it's
going to work.
Has value.
Yeah.
There's 15,000 people in Austintown in that group. You can get, like, think of the power of like a landscaper. You're cutting grass.
Dude, Creative Lawn and Design's done it for like 12 months.
So you're cutting grass in the spring in Austintown. You want to keep all of your potential clients in Austintown. You go on there and you can cut all the grasses in Austintown. You don't have to worry about getting calls from, if you advertise on the news, you get people from Youngstown, you get people from Boardman, you get people from Canfield, you get people from Lisbon. This is targeted specifically in Austintown. The power of that is why people get mad when we don't allow them to advertise.
Yeah.
That's why
I agree.
It's valuable. That's why people are paying the $150 per month. And
most people who
get mad, but that's
you
why
have the Rita's Ice in Austintown that's done it for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
You have Creative Landscape and Design. You have Lawn Ranger.
Right.
We have what's the Canfield Blow?
Canfield Blow or Glow?
No, Blow.
Is that a tobacco thing?
It's your hair. It's the hair thing. Canfield Blow. You never heard of it? Why are you looking at me like that?
Well,
it's the name of the company. Google, somebody tell Isaac the name of the company that Canfield Glow. There's also Canfield. There's also Glow.
There's also that
Blow.
Massage parlor that got in trouble.
They never advertised
Canfield Blow.
They never advertised. They should have. They got more business.
They would have got way more business.
And then what else do we have? We have Rita's. We have Creative. I'm trying to think of we do so many.
Right.
80s ice cream shop.
Right.
You have,
and it's actually amazing that, and it took 5 years.
Canfield Blowout.
Blow as in blowout, isn't it? Yes. Thank you, ladies.
I couldn't help it.
Looks like I got to visit that company.
Canfield Blow. The lady texts me, who's a Polar person. She goes, "Hey, can you help me advertise for Canfield Blow?" I'm like, "Excuse me."
Excuse me, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
You need me to do what?
Wait, what?
It's a scholarship tournament in honor of my cousin Billy Lovell. The money raised goes towards scholarships. That's
what's his name?
Lovell,
the barber.
Yeah.
Send us, message us the form. I'll check it out for sure.
It goes towards scholarships for kids and struggles. Hell
Love
yeah.
it.
Let's
Message it to us.
Yeah.
Like I said, I wish we had more money to do more stuff.
But it's crazy how far it's come from. Like, people are like, you guys don't have anybody in your groups, to, okay, you're getting a lot of people in your groups and you guys are talking about A, B, C, and D to, oh my God, you guys actually make money from that stupid stuff. And it's like, now we made, like, we donated this year, I think we calculated like $6,000,
$6,700
in a couple months.
Yeah.
It's like, at what point are you like, dang, we should have just kept that money? Like, we could have written a check for $3,000 each.
Yeah,
$3,000 each.
Man, that's a lot of golf.
Yeah,
it's a lot of golf.
$3,700 or $3,300 each.
Ooh, that's almost your golf cart.
It's my golf. That's a golf cart. For a damn golf cart.
That's almost your golf cart.
Damn, dude. Yeah, but it's like, at what point do we start shaving some off the top, Luke? Since speaking of
shaving it off the top.
At what point do we start shaving it off the top?
When I made the spreadsheet of like our ins and outs and our expenses and stuff, I was like, man, I could see how somebody would totally be able to skim.
Oh, 100%. But the thing is, like, I made sure you people absolutely know that, like, ad revenue, I can't promise you if we blow up on the podcast and Facebook starts paying us $2,000, $3,000.
Well, they're not paying us anything right now.
Right now, we got in trouble. But like, if they start paying us a couple grand, I can't guarantee I won't pocket some of that money.
Oh,
but the ad revenue that comes from the groups, we'll give back. But like the Facebook money, I become a professional podcaster by making 10 grand. Yeah, I'm not being a banker anymore.
Or
coming here and podcast.
Or somebody pays us $100,000 each to stop talking. Away.
Yeah. Or
I'm in.
We get sponsors for the podcast and they pay us $150 or $1,000 a week to talk about freaking Dave Beatrice, attorney at law. Like, bro, I'm collecting that money. I am taking that money. But the advertising from the groups, yeah. But I will say nothing but good things about Dave Beatrice, and I will definitely pocket $1,000 a month.
Can we get advertisers?
Can you get advertisers
for a podcast?
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
I heard the.
Can anybody? I'll tell you what. We need a business that will just advertise.
Joe, did you reach out to that product that we were talking about a couple weeks ago?
No,
the ring.
You should.
The penis ring.
We should definitely.
The penis
try
clamp.
The penis clamp.
I'm emailed them. They never emailed me back.
Damn it!
I know.
We get like 10,000 views, dude. I think that's a lot.
We just, you know what we need? First business to reach out to us in the messages. Let's run like a free advertisement campaign.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, free advertisement for
next
campaign
week
to see if we're actually effective.
Yeah. So let's do it.
Yeah, you send
You're
us
watching right now.
Send us who you think we should. We'll do it for free.
Yeah.
And then we'll pick who we like the most, and we'll advertise them for a month. And see
are we going to read have ChatGPT make us a script for an advertisement?
ChatGPT make an advertisement. I'll say it every time.
Do you ever do advertising in the radio?
Oh yeah, live reads are amazing too.
What's
not just recorded commercials, but the host actually talking to and about the companies. I think
Verb does that all the time.
Yeah, those
Verb
are very effective.
all the time.
They are.
Heck yeah.
And Rivers does that all the time too.
I reached out to 2 companies and they didn't respond. Probably.
Why do you think this?
Right after,
can we engineer this?
Right after I asked them, they probably turned into the show and heard us talking about bad things, and we're like, "Yeah, I don't want to do that."
About penis clamps.
Penis clamps.
What?
And deadly amoeba swimming up my urethra.
Here's the problem. The problem is with us. It's like I think people think more people.
I don't know who that is. They just waved us hi.
I think. What a percent of the population do you think don't like us?
It's probably 60-40 at least.
You think
in 60 not liking you?
Yes.
Dude, no. You think 60-40?
At least 50.
No,
no.
I think it's like 10% really have a vendetta against you. And then the rest of them are like maybe intrigued, but you know, wouldn't be what they would normally listen to.
What the average person doesn't realize is once you get like we have 13,000 followers, like we have 1 stalker. So 13,000 followers, 1 stalker. If we average 1 stalker per 13,000,
that's a good run.
I know, but like if you balloon that up to 100K, that means what? We got 10 stalkers. Like, it could get dangerous quickly if you grow.
Do you think Rogan has like stalkers?
Oh, dude, he doesn't.
He has a security detail.
He has a security detail. The other thing that he does is they'll talk on the podcast, and somebody will be like, "Hey, are we going to that restaurant?" And he's like, "Don't say where we're going."
because he's going to get people.
Because the people will show up at the restaurant. He's like, don't talk about details. Don't talk about, like, he'll talk about restaurants, but he won't talk about where they're going. Yeah. And he probably has like a back room that he buys.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you have so many freaking stalkers, dude.
Yeah.
And he said, he always talks about too, like, when you meet somebody, you can immediately tell if somebody's a scumbag because they'll be like, oh, I want to come on your show and talk about this. And it's like always, he's like, it's always a sell.
Right.
So if I ever met him, I don't even think I would.
Dude,
I wouldn't even like say anything to him. I would say something from his podcast, like just to.
We get that all the time now too.
Yeah,
people trying to sell to come on the show, and I'm just like, dude, no.
Yeah,
like
it's like next level. Like my cousin's doing this business, and they want to come on your show. It's like that's nonstop
money. Yeah,
nonstop.
Yeah, that's brutal. I can't. Yeah, I guess we've had other stalkers though. To be fair,
Melissa, the % who don't like you are the ones who probably vote. I don't want to bring up politics, but both sides, I will say, both sides at one point or another have. Exiled us.
Yeah.
Have said you guys are snowflakes or you guys are freaking Trumpers.
Yep.
And the thing I don't like about both sides is you guys, both sides are like, I am right until I die or I am left until I die. And you refuse to see craziness sometimes.
Yeah.
And you need to, it's healthy to draw a line in the sand and be like, listen, if they go this far, I need to jump ship because it's healthy. It's too much.
Yeah, I agree.
So
all right, so we're at hour and a half already. That's crazy. So Friday, one more time, is going to be a real big one. We're going to have Michael Saccone and Jennifer Saccone on the Clerk of Courts, who are in a whole bunch of crap on social media and the news. And
then next week we're gonna have Beatrice on. That's my goal. Beatrice, I saw you comment. I'll call him. I need
call
his
him.
number.
Call his office.
I'm gonna call his office.
Call his office and invite him.
We should call his office live on air right now.
Ed said I would ask for an autograph. Dude, that was another thing. Remember that we said the first person asked us for an autograph, we resigned to.
We what?
Didn't you remember that?
No. Our bet was whoever out in public,
if we get
whoever gets asked for an autograph legitimately and signs something and takes a picture wins. We started that in like 2020.
Yeah, no, never happened.
I've never had somebody else.
We've had people take pictures with us.
Yes.
Hit pictures with us. Yes.
But
never
no autograph.
No autograph.
No autograph.
I got to work on that. We got to work on the autograph. Do
right.
you have an autograph? Do you ever been asked for an autograph?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
You've been asked for an autograph?
Yes.
Why?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Was it from your radio stuff?
Yeah.
What'd you sign?
Was it a little old lady?
Was it a ninja?
Was it a boob?
It was a couple programs. No boobs.
Was it at the Capefield Fair?
No.
It was just randomly in public.
Yeah. The last time was up at the planetarium. I was standing in line to get in there with my wife, and I was talking, and somebody was like, "Are you Joe Danyi? Would you sign my program?" Yeah, it's exactly how it went down.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had an autograph.
Do you think your wives would be mad if some lady came up to you and was like, "Sign my boobs"? She'd
be pissed. Yeah, she would not like that.
Maggie gets annoyed. And it's not because she's annoyed, like she's being bothered by it.
Yeah.
She gets annoyed that somebody comes up and like, oh my God, I love you and your brother. Or, oh my God, I hear you guys all the time. She gets annoyed because of the attention we get, because she feels we don't deserve it.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like, she's
okay,
like,
that falls into that 50% of people that don't like us. Don't think we deserve
definitely in the 10%.
Why are you giving those idiots the time of day?
Exactly. Well, my own wife. Yep. My own wife thinks that.
Yep.
Yeah. I think she's amazed because Maggie has to deal with you and I on a regular basis for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And she doesn't understand why people listen to us because we're so stupid.
I respect it because they know us. My wife and your wife knows us like at a personal level, and they have us in our lanes, and they're like, these guys are just two idiot husbands. They're not anything special.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're talking and people
drives her crazy.
Dehumanize us or whatever.
Yeah, it drives her crazy. Yeah. My fiance goes to the salon downstairs, and I told her I should have gotten an autograph. We're never in our office, Ed.
Yeah, we're not there at all.
Ever. So is there a salon in here? No, she's talking about the weather. So, all right, everybody, we will be back on Friday with the Saccones. That should be a good one. Sales pitch. Go ahead.
Thank you, everybody.
I think we've done that like 45 times.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We really appreciate you for being here, for tuning in. If you don't know, MLO Bros stands for Mortgage Loan Originator Brothers. Luke and I are loan officers. We are licensed real estate agents. If you're buying, if you're selling, if you need a refi, if you just want to talk about rates or whatever, give us a call. We'll help you. We'll use our groups to help you. And also Youngstown Studio down here, Youngstown, Ohio. Joe is in the studio. He'll set you up with a podcast. He'll set you up with marketing. He'll fix your computer at Youngstown Computer. Call him. He'll help you. You can make a podcast and talk about how much you don't like us or whatever you want to do in your podcast. Just in this.
Have you had any phone calls yet about coming in and talking?
Yeah, actually, following this show, we have somebody meeting about it.
I want my goddamn cut. Oh my gosh. I want my cut.
Dude,
if they say,
can you reel him in a little bit?
He is out of control
What is
today.
up with that? He's usually
He is
you.
out of.
Joe, all I'm saying is you better be asking. You better be asking these people, hey, where'd you hear about us? This is what happens with the loans with the MLO bros. Where'd you hear about us from? Oh, I saw Isaac advertising. It's like, oh, I guess I owe. I guess I owe.
We gotta lay off the caffeine on him.
I guess I owe Isaac a cut of that, huh, Joe? Don't you? We'll see.
Like a kickback? Wouldn't that be corruption?
No,
We already said
I am
you
your
bribes.
marketing guy. I'm your I talk about you on this podcast.
He doesn't charge us to use the studio.
Stop.
He does everything. We just walk in here and don't do anything.
Just
we drink his drinks.
Okay. I don't want a cut of this one.
First one's free.
But just let me know.
Now he's a drug dealer. He gets her spit hits free.
Let me know if it was sourced from us. That's all I want to know. I just
Yeah.
want to know if my advertising has
what if
gone
it's a
somewhere.
Save the Deer person coming in to talk? Like, do you know what they want to talk about?
Yeah, it's self-defense. I think it's self-defense.
Where did you hear about us from?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out.
We need to know.
Jeez.
I need to know where we're sourced from. If it was a Save the Deer person, that's totally our money.
It's in studio though. We need to come up with an agreement. What
if he gets 7? At what point are you like, damn, Joe, you got a lot of podcasts in here and they were all from us? At what point is it like, hey, Joe, maybe you're making all this money. Maybe you could buy my lunch or something?
Yeah, pizza party. That's
pizza party. Exactly. See what he's doing, Luke? He's freaking taking
Friday pizza party at work.
Taking advantage of us.
That's what they used to do at the bank. Hey, numbers are really great, everyone. We got pizza.
Guess what? We got Pizza Hut.
Joe makes $1 million extra dollars.
You're not going to appreciate your pizza? It came from the heart.
Little Caesars $5 hot and readies, boys.
Pizza.
Listen,
all right, we gotta go. I have so much work to do.
See you, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. We love you.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. This is original Youngstown content. Feel free to share our videos and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook.